everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by at the Pepper Peach today, where we're going to be checking out something from Magnolia Cookbook Volume Number 2, and that is the home-style, homemade chicken noodle soup with homemade noodles. Sign me up. I love soup. It is soup season, and I love chicken noodle, and I love homemade noodles. I love making them. It's super easy. While I've never made her noodles before, I've certainly made some ravioli and some fettuccine, so it'll be very interesting to see how these come out. So we have everything here for our chicken noodle soup and our homemade noodles. So let's get this homemade party started. All right, so our first step is to make the homemade noodles. So it seems pretty simple from her recipe. So let's get started. So we have 2 cups and 1/4 of all-purpose flour. I have it in this bowl. We're going to crack 2 eggs. Let me make a little well. Just a little something in the middle. There we go. Now let's crack these 2 eggs. Place this in the middle. Ooh, there we go. That was messy, but it's all right. And number 2. We're going to add in 1/2 cup of milk. And what else? And the salt. And she calls for 1/2 teaspoon of all kosher salt. Add that in. And now let me get this eggy thing off. Okay. And now we're going to mix with the fork. And it'll start to become doughy. She does say if it becomes too dry, add a little bit more milk. If it becomes too wet, add a little bit more flour. So let's see how this comes out. Pretty soon I'll start kneading it once the dough starts to form. And now is where I want my hands. It's easier for me. Yeah, there we go. I think making dough is just the fresh homemade noodles are literally my favorite. I think it's such an easy thing to do when you have time, and it makes all the difference, really. The flavor's perfect. Nice and soft, and doesn't need a lot of time to cook. We're almost there. Once this is a dough, I am going to get a lightly floured surface and we'll roll this out. Bam. All right. So let me get a nice little place here with some flour and we'll start rolling. Okay, so I have my setup, although I don't need this here. That's fine. Let's get rolling. So we're gonna roll this out to about, what does she say? Let's see what she says. 1/8 of an inch thick. Okay, so thin. I mean, whatever 1/8 of an inch is, we'll figure it out. This is it, just kidding. This is like 1 inch. We have a long ways to go. And we will need this bowl later because we do need to let the dough rest. So I'm just gonna put it behind me so I don't knock it over. I need all the space I can get. Gotta put your legs into it. Gotta put your bag into it. Flip it over. One thing my dad is really good at is making ravioli, and he makes it every Christmas. It's my favorite thing. I still haven't perfected the ravioli like he has, but one day I will. I'm like out of breath. I'm really putting my heart and soul into this dough. Okay. Just needs a little bit more. It's getting a little sticky. You don't want that. almost there, right? What do we think? Need some water. So where's my water boy? Kidding. Okay. Just about. I think a little bit more. And I will add a little bit more flour. This part's a little sticky. There we go. I think we're good now. Okay. Am I doing this right? All right. So she says, okay, using a knife or a pizza cutter, cut the dough into strips about 1 inch wide, 5 to 6 inches long. All right, time to math. So I'm gonna cut this in half and then go like this. And it doesn't need to be perfect. She does say that, which is great. And it's also like chicken noodle soup. You want it to be imperfect in the perfect way, right? And then we are going to cover this with a damp towel, let them dry out, to avoid drying out, and then we'll let it go for 15 minutes. And in the meantime, we'll start getting our ingredients ready for the chicken broth. All right, let's go. Okay. And she says, how wide? 5 to 6, oh no, 1 inch wide. I was like, wow, 5 to 6 inches wide. That would be very wide noodles. Sometimes I just want to do some little swirlies, but I'm not going to, not today. Okay, so now this is done. We're gonna let this sit. I'm gonna get a damp towel, which I have one right here. Hold on, don't go anywhere, okay? These I use for, if you remember my sourdough episode, I do use that for preparing the sourdough. So we will get this going. We're gonna cover this, probably need 2, yeah. I'll get another one. All right, and dampen it up. Should have had those ready. I'm so sorry. And we will let this rest for 15 minutes. And in the meantime, let's get going with our chicken broth. All right, so while our dough is resting, let's get started on everything else. I do have a large pot on right now. It's on lowish heat and I'm melting 4 tablespoons of butter. So this does call for a half of a onion. She actually says a half a cup diced, so let's see what this comes out to. And this is just a dice, right? Yes. Diced onion. And once this is chopped, we will, and the butter is melted, we'll add that to our pot. But let's first get this all chopped up and ready. Okay. All right, so moving that to the side. All right, now let's get our onions ready. Now Penny's gonna come in 3 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, here she is. She hears this sound. Bauer is currently hanging out with Dad in his office. So we're in the room, I don't know, somewhere, mystery. But they usually both come running when they hear this sound, because they know that they're gonna get some of these little clippings. And I will save them for when it's their dinner time. Right, Penny? I'll give her a little bit now. Let's see if she catches it. Ready? Oh, almost. You did good, kid. All right. Move this off to the side for later. And let's chop up these 3 carrots She wants them diced. So the other day, I did make homemade chicken broth. I do it pretty frequently. I like it when it's cold and chilly, and of course I froze all of it. So I should have kept some of that out so I could have used my own chicken broth here, but we're just gonna stick with the good old boxed chicken broth this time. And last but not least, some celery. I'm not putting a ton of celery in here because, as we know, my dear husband does not like celery. So, and I want him to have some of this today. So, I'm going to limit how much I put in here for his sanity. Because if he tastes one little piece of celery in there, it's over. Or if it's too much, I can't not get a spoonful without some celery in it. All right, we have everything ready to go. I hear our butter ready to go, so let me clean this up and we'll head over to the stove. All right, so our butter's ready to go. Let's add in first our onion, and then we're gonna let this soften for about 4 minutes. So in 4 minutes, we'll come back, we'll keep stirring it up, but 4 minutes, we'll come back and we'll start adding the rest of our ingredients. All right, so our onion has softened. Let's go ahead and add in our carrots and our celery. I shouldn't say that too loud, just in case Lois is listening. And we're gonna let this soften for about 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna stir it up, and we'll come back in 5. Bam. All right, so our carrots, our celery, and our onion are all perfect. So it's been about 5 minutes. We're gonna use 1/4 of a teaspoon of white pepper and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm gonna dump that in. We're gonna stir it first. And then we're going to add in our chicken broth, which is 2 of these bad boys. And we're gonna bring this to a boil before we add in our noodles. All right, so I'm gonna turn this heat up. We'll bring this to a boil and we'll come right back. All right, so our broth / veggies are boiling. Let's take our noodles over so I don't kill them, right? Okay, there we go. Let's get them over. I'm not gonna drop any. Okay, here we go. All right, so I turned this down to a simmer now, and we're gonna throw in our noodles, and we're going to let this go for about 15 minutes. Now this is, remember, this is just on simmer, so you're probably thinking, why are they gonna take that long? With the noodles, it's okay because it's on a simmer and it's gonna be 15 minutes. After that 15 minutes, we're gonna add in our chicken. So, like I said earlier, I did make chicken broth, and obviously you need a chicken to do that, right? So I did save our chicken, and I have it ready to go right here. So I'll add that after the 15 minutes. But first, let's get our noodles in. And smells really good. I mean, it's so simple, but it smells so good. So I am very excited to try this out. Okay. All right, it's on low. It's on a simmer. I'm gonna set the timer for 15 minutes, and I'll see you back then. All right, so it's been 15 minutes. Let's add in our chicken. Dump it in. And I'll break it apart as it starts to move, to get soft and yummy, but it's basically shredded chicken in clumps. Really, I know that sounded weird, but you know what I mean. All right, so we'll let this go for 5 minutes, and then it's time to try our chicken noodle soup. All right, y'all, it is time to try our chicken soup with homemade noodles, and it smells so good. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. I just want to keep eating. So let me wrap this up really fast. This is so good. I love everything about it. The noodles are perfect. I love them. I love homemade noodles. This makes it so much better. So make sure that when you make this chicken soup, you're making it with the homemade noodles because it makes it 1000% better. The flavors are perfect. Everything about it is amazing. I love it. The only thing I'm gonna do next time is use my own chicken broth. Nothing wrong with this, but I do love using homemade things. This is 1000% amazing. So if you make it at home, let me know. Love to hear from you. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm gonna go stuff my face with the rest of this chicken noodle soup. Have a good rest of your day. See ya. So our onions and our carrots, no, redo. Okay, let's go. Let's get. All right, so our first step is to make our not the homemade noodles. It's so good.
Nice.
Can you please try it?
All right. You twisted my arm. Okay, I'll do it.
It's so good.
Let's do it.